everybody. Happy Wednesday, hump day on the Morning Night Live. Another shortened show just because of my schedule at work, but that's okay. We'll get at least an hour in, maybe a little more, and then we'll move on. But I know the music's still a little loud. Let me turn that down. Anyway, a couple things I saw on the internet this morning were intriguing to me, so I'm not really hot, hard news today, just some different things that we can look at and laugh about. But I really, really, really want to watch this interview that I have as the title. The interview that Tulsi Gabbard's having with this jackal George Santos, who basically lied his way into Congress, at least with his constituents. Now, look, he embellished his resume a little bit. Kind of like, there's a guy. Who's that guy? The guy. Yeah, Joseph Rahim Biden. But I don't ever remember the media. Well, I do remember the media taking down Joe Biden back when he was running for president. Not this time, but back in, I think it was 88. No, was it 88 or 92? The year that Clinton won. And no, it was 88. He told a whole bunch of whoppers. And the media kind of made fun of him then, but then when he ran for president this time against the guy with the funny hair, the media just completely ignored everything from Joseph Biden's past. And now, well, let's just say that Joe Biden has not stopped embellishing his resume since. But anyway, we're gonna watch this Tulsi Gabbard interview because everyone says it's fantastic. And look, it's almost unanimous. It's funny. She substituted for Tucker Carlson, did this interview with George Santos, and I guess it's fantastic. So we're gonna watch the whole damn thing and have some fun today. So buckle up. It is the Morning Night Live in the morning on a hump day. And well, let's just get it started. Johnny, play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
That is, in fact, me. Good morning, everybody. Stop the music. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel on the 4th day of Christmas. My true love gave to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. But there's also, let's see, and I learned today, I had never heard of this one. The 4th day of Christmas is also the Feast of the Holy Innocents. Now, I have never, maybe is that a Catholic thing, or is that just something I didn't pay attention to when I was going to church as a kid? It's the Feast of the Holy Innocents. It says, these are justly hailed as infant martyrs, flowers. Oh, this is when Herod went around and killed a bunch of kids, or King Herod wanted a bunch of people killed, maybe? Yes, it commemorates the massacre of the male children 2 years old and under in Bethlehem by King Herod. It's part of Matthew 2:16-18. Now, I'm not a Bible thumper guy, but it's interesting. It's history. So to me, and I mean history as in far as how the church does things and stuff. So anyway, it's the Feast of the Holy Innocents, because apparently they were trying to find the baby. Herod wanted to find the baby Jesus, I think. So anyway, good morning. How you all doing? Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet, on this Wednesday, hump day, the 28th of December, 2022. The year's almost over. I got to start thinking about what I'm going to do on my Friday show, because that's my last show of the year. And I probably should have thought of this about a month ago. But what I think I want to do is maybe if you guys would submit stories, what you think the good, the bad, and the ugly of 2022. I was going to do just the best, most happy stories of 2022. But maybe give me, maybe in the description in the chat, not in the chats, in the comments section of this video, in the next video, a couple days, or if you can go back, I don't care what, put it in the comment section anywhere. I see them all. Tell me maybe 3 stories that, no, we're not doing Nude Friday, Hig. 3 stories or 4, 3, 4, 5 stories, whatever, that you think are good, bad, and ugly from the year. Now, obviously, there's going to be some that will be repeated more than others, but I just want to hear what you think. What were the best? What were the worst? What were the ugliest stories of 2022? And then we'll just kind of use that list to make our plan for Friday. So if you can do that, that would be great. If you're watching on replay, you can do it right now. If you're watching in the live, you can do it later, or I think on Rumble you can do comments and chat. So it's up to you. That's all I'm asking. But let's get into the show, because the work schedule is weird for me right now. So plus here's the other part. So normally when I get home, I just make myself a quick breakfast, run downstairs, and here I am, and I can get this stuff done faster. But right now, I am still taking care of Lady Boomer, who is doing well. I'm just reminding you, she's doing well. I've been making her either, she prefers in the morning malto meal or cream of wheat, and because you can make them really, really thin, because she's still technically on a liquid diet. Now, when they say liquid diet, it doesn't mean they have to be clear liquids. It just means things that are basically very, they call it full liquids. So liquids like milk and eggnog and things like that she can drink. She can drink hot chocolate. She can eat like malto meal if it's really made really super thin. I made a really good, yesterday I made a butternut squash soup yesterday, and it turned out so good. And she can have like soups as long as they don't have like a bunch of vegetable stuff in them, or if I puree them. So the great thing about butternut squash soup is that it is meant to be a pureed soup. It's meant to be smooth. So, the consistency of tomato soup or whatever. So I made this squash soup, and man, I had never made that before. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I took a bunch of butternut squash and you cut up the chunks. I also put butternut squash, sweet potatoes, onions, and then season with basically salt, pepper, and allspice. And boy, and then you do it in a chicken base, right? Chicken, chicken soup base, right? Man, that turned out so good. I'm gonna make that again someday. So anyway, all right, let's say good morning and get this show on the road. I'm hungry because I made breakfast for Lady Boomer, but I didn't make breakfast for me. So anyway, let's say hi first in the chat over on Rumble. Is Advocatus Diablo, who gets the bell? Good morning, sir. Also over on Rumble, Simon Wolfwood, Mike Savage, Blarg, and there's some other people watching over there. Open up, like I said, you make sure you follow me on both. While I'm thinking about this, YouTube's pissing me off again. YouTube is pissing me off again. I got one of these damn notices from YouTube. Here it is. Let me show you this crap. Here's YouTube. This is an email I got. Hi, P-Dog Knight. Hi, YouTube. We want to let you know that our team reviewed your content. We think it violates our misinformation policy. We know you may not have realized this. It was a violation of our policy, so we're not applying a strike to your channel. Well, how benevolent of you. However, we removed the following content from YouTube. The video is the Morning Night Live number 490. 490. You know what episode we're on right now? We're on episode 969. By the way, yes. We're on episode 969. Uh-oh, are we buffering on YouTube? Are they mad at me right now? Episode 969, baby. All right, enough of that nonsense. Stop it! Anyway, so, and again, this is 400 some episodes ago, almost. Content that advances false claim that widespread fraud, errors, or glitches change the outcome of the U.S. 2020 presidential election is not allowed on YouTube. Oh, I guess you can't have an opinion. They have no reason. Here's what I think is happening. Because I had that strike the other week, right? And that was for the same reason. And I don't know what I was saying back then. This is 2 years ago. Two freaking years ago. But I was skeptical of some certain things, and it's okay to be skeptical of things, and but just whatever, fuck them. Let me say good morning to people on YouTube now, which also Avocados Diablo gets the bell over there. Also, good morning, Tyre Alexander. How you doing, Tyrannius? You know what? I haven't done this for a while. Here we go. Tyrannius Alexandrius Tremelich. Good morning, sir. Also, good morning to my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony. Tall person's in the house. Nice to see you. Thanks for tweeting out the show, by the way. Also, good morning to Mike Savage Blarg. Now what? My friend from high school. Good morning. And I did get your text, and yes. That's my answer. Also, good morning to, let's see, who am I missing? Attack Alpaca's in the house. Kay is here. Good morning, my friend. Green Badger outdoors. Trippy Liberty's in the hizzo. Septus Wolf. Good morning, Somnambule Nation. Hig is in the house from the home base in Florida with, hello, Cindy in the background also. Hello, fellow Bleach Devils. Oh, goodness gracious. Brick Ashbreaker's in the house. Good morning. Hate Camel, one of the original viewers of the Morning Night Live. Number 2, I'd like to refer him to. Also, good morning to, let's see, who am I missing? Jordan's back. Good night to see you. 10 minutes in, and you already got an election label. I did? Wait, what? Did I really? Hold on. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. I'm not even talking about elections. What did I say about elections? I didn't say anything. Anyway, also good morning, Rotten Corpse. Good morning. Green Badger Outdoors. Papa Hotep's in the house. Also, good morning, Real Wade Nation. Bishop's in the house. Nice to see you back. Also, am I missing anybody? Select a boy. Yeah, boy. Also, good morning to Jen T. Maxey. What's up? Nice to see you. And Ken Lee's in the house. And that sounds like about everybody. We got a loaded house this morning. What is going on with YouTube? Okay, now it says an excellent connection. I still look fuzzy up there though. Am I fuzzy on Rumble? No, I'm not. But I'm fuzzy on YouTube. I don't know why. YouTube's messing me up. Anyway, thank y'all for being here. I'm glad to see it. Now, I wanted to talk today this morning about this interview that Tulsi Gabbard did with George Santos. If you remember, George Santos is the recently elected member of the House of Representatives from the state of New York, the 3rd District, which is basically part of Long Island, I guess. Thank you, Somnambule Nation, for tweeting out the show, too. I greatly appreciate it. I retweeted you, too. And Simon Wolfwood and Tyler F., thank you for retweeting the show. By the way, the show is sponsored by you. Hit the like button. Share the stream. Anywhere, time during the show, after the show, or before the next show. And then also, if you want to sponsor the show, pdognight.live is the Streamlabs link where you can donate up there, or you can do super chats or Venmo or Cash App, however you want to do that. If you're able, great. If you're not, no big deal. This show is free. It just helps me continue to buy stuff that makes the show better, or just helps me get through these times with shit going on. All right, let's get back to this though. What was I doing? Oh, before I get to that story about George Santos though, if you are a Catholic, you may want to pray for Pope Benedict. Apparently, let's see, Pope Francis today asked, I just saw, there's some trending tweets here. Pope Francis today asked for prayers for Pope Benedict the 16th, saying he is very sick and asking God to console and sustain him in his witness of love for the church until the end. So I guess he's not doing well. And I let's see, Pope Francis says his predecessor, Pope Benedict, is very sick and asks for prayers. So if that's your thing, if you're a Catholic, think about that. And then also trending was the Day of the Holy Innocents. I already talked about that. So I'll have a couple of these links in the tabs at the end of the show. I have a single link in the second paragraph at the end of the show that I'll update that has all the stories and tweets and things that we go through. And then also a couple other things trending. I'll do one more that's trending now, and then I'll get to some others after I talk about the Tulsi Gabbard thing. Also, Mega Millions. Someone could win more than $500,000 in the Mega Millions lottery, but the jackpot wouldn't even rank in the top 10 as prizes have grown bigger in recent years, and it pales in comparison to the $2.404 billion Powerball jackpot won in November. The person took home like about $800 million, but or was it 700? I don't know. But so anyway, yeah, let's see. So anyway, yeah, if you're into lotteries, nobody won the most recent Mega Millions lottery numbers. All right, let's get into what I really want to see today. And I haven't watched the interview. We're going to watch it together, but people are I've seen some partial clips of it, but we're going to do something. We're going to do something different. We're going to watch an entire interview today of Tulsi Gabbard and George Santos, because apparently she rips him to shreds. So anyway, the big story is, George Santos. Okay, let's get back to that. George Santos is the congressman elect from the state of New York, District 3, Long Island area, right? And apparently, during his campaign, he Joe Biden'd up his campaign a little bit, embellishing on just about everything that he does, right? And I think there's calls for him not to be seated in Congress. Now, the interesting thing, though, is the Constitution really doesn't have a provision for that. As long as he is eligible, age-wise and residency-wise, even if he lied his way into Congress, he could be seated. So he's saying that he's going to represent his constituents in the way that he said he would. And it's a controversy, right? It's a controversy. So, but like we said, we read this, we talked about this yesterday. He lied his ass off about everything, where he went to school, what he did for his work, whether he said something about being Jewish. And then he said later, no, I meant his grandmother on the son's side of his mother's side or whatever, somewhere the lineage was Jewish. So he meant Jew/ish, kind of Jewish as opposed to Jewish. And there's all kinds of weird things that he was doing and saying. And like I said, Joe Biden'd up his resume. He just he's like, if it was Pinocchio, someone said yesterday, if he was Pinocchio, there'd be the entire oak tree coming out of his face, right? Good morning, H.P. Lovecraft, by the way. So let's, and in fact, so the Washington Examiner had this article out today. Watched Tulsi Gabbard blasts incompetent Congress. Oh no, this is over failing. But what? Wait, no, that's the wrong story. That's not the story I want. What the hell did I do there? Here's the actual interview. All right, so she was co-hosting for Tucker Carlson. We're gonna watch the whole damn thing. What the hell? I hear it's very good. And if it gets boring, we'll stop. It's only 8 minutes. We'll get through it. Here we go. Not Jewish, Jewish. Yes, that's what he said. He was kind of Jewish, which I don't know. One Rebel, good morning. Welcome to the show over on Rumble. All right, let's watch this interview. I will obviously, I'm going to be stopping this here and there because, sometimes it's just to, marvel at the lovely Tulsi Gabbard, although I am still very skeptical of former Representative Gabbard. She went from being like Bernie Sanders left to Now she's not, says she's no longer a Democrat. She's an independent, and then she spends a lot of time on right-wing shows, and I'm confused. Maybe it's because she's anti-war. That's why I think she and Tucker Carlson get along. They're both fervently anti-war. But let's go. Don Julio, good morning. I see you too. All right, let's start with this. Here we go.
Now, permanent Washington has created a culture where it's acceptable to lie to further your own interests.
Now, from the very top, that is true. Joe Biden.
Just try not to get caught.
Hello,
I should
Ryan
know.
R.
I served in Congress for 8 years. But even when these politicians do get caught, people just shrug their shoulders
Joe
and
Biden,
move on. No
Joe
big
Biden,
deal. No
Joe
consequences.
Biden,
A few examples. Dick Blumenthal
Dick
lied about his military service.
Yes, remember that? he not only, well, here, let's let her say it.
And of course, Elizabeth Warren. She lied about having Native American heritage.
Faux, F-A-U-X, Cahantas. Faux Cahantas.
So no one should be surprised that the American people...
Oh, now how did she leave Joe Biden off her beginnings here? Joe Biden had to quit his presidential campaign because he was lying so much one time. Not this time, but you know what I mean.
Don't trust these politicians. They've got no faith that those in Washington are actually working for the people when they're so clearly working for themselves. Now, there are new accusations that George Santos, who was just elected to represent New York in Congress in this past election, has actually been lying extensively about his own past.
Accusations. Yes, Papa Hotep. I think more than one person has noticed that Tulsi Gabbard is easy on the eyes. Okay, let's go.
Now, he admits to some of these deceptions. For example, Santos acknowledges that he, quote, embellished his resume by saying that he graduated from Baruch College.
He lied his ass off.
Santos has also admitted he never actually worked for Citigroup and Goldman Sachs, even though his website suggested that he did. Additionally...
Now, in fairness, this is the one that maybe the embellishment was sort of true, as in the company he worked for did contract work for both of those entities, but he did not work specifically for either of those places. Okay.
Santos once called himself a proud Jew, but in an interview with the New York Post, Santos now says, quote, I am Catholic because I learned my maternal family had a Jewish background. I said I was Jew-ish. There are other accusations, but now we have the opportunity to hear directly from George Santos himself. This is his very first TV interview since these accusations surfaced. George Santos joins us now.
Let's go!
Congressman-elect Santos, thank you for joining us today. First question I really want to ask you, now that all of this has been revealed, is what does the word integrity mean to you?
Ooh, damn! Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. That's a tough question. I'm Jewish by association. Yes, my friend Nawat is Jewish, and I'm very proud to have her as my very good friend for life. So there you go. But I don't know that makes me Jewish though. Jew adjacent? I don't know. Now what, are you still here? What would you call it? Anyway, all right, here we go.
Well, Tulsi, thank you for having me. You know, to answer your question, integrity is very important. And like I said to the New York...
Integrity oh my gosh. I know people saying don't seat him. And I think integrity, as much as I hate to lose another Republican in Congress, would be to step down and ask for a special election. Or I don't know how they do that in New York. Anyway.
Post. Embellishing
what does it mean, though? What does it mean? Because the meaning of the word actually matters in practice.
She's not going to let him get by with that shit.
It needs to carry yourself in an honorable way. And I made a mistake. And I think humans are flawed, and we all make...
I made a mistake? Sounds like you made several.
Mistakes, Tulsi. I think we can all look at ourselves in the mirror and admit that once in our life we made a mistake. I'm having to admit this in national television for the whole country to see, and I have the courage to do so because I believe that in order to move past this and move forward and be an effective member of Congress, I have to face my mistakes, and I'm facing them. The reality is that I remain committed to doing everything I set forward in my campaign. I'm not a fraud. I'm not a fake. I didn't materialize from thin air. I worked damn hard to get where I got my entire life. Life wasn't easy. It didn't start off easy. As I've said it many, many times, I come from abject poverty.
Oh, Lord. Now, I'm curious now. I'm curious. Anyone else have this question in your mind when he said that I come from abject poverty? Do you immediately question it because of all the other lies? I sure do. I'm those lies weren't easy to come up with. Okay. There you go. See now what says it. I'm equally proud to have you as a good friend for life. My family would call you an associate member of the tribe. See, I am Jewish. Okay. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it. All right, here we go.
I made some mistakes.
I
own up to them. And now I want to put this past me. So
you own up to them. Now you own up to them now that you've been caught.
I can deliver for the American people.
Ooh.
The thing is, Congressman-elect, integrity means, yes, carrying yourself with honor, but it means telling the truth, being a person of integrity. And if I were one of those in New York's 3rd District right now that the election is over, and I'm finding out all of these lies that you've told, not just one little lie or one little embellishment. These are blatant lies. My question is, do you have no shame? Do you have no shame in the people who are now you're asking?
Okay, you know what his answer should be? His answer right now should be yes. I'm ashamed of myself for those lies. If he had integrity. Now, look, I don't even know if necessarily he would need to step down. If he could just say, you know, yes, I'm ashamed of what I did, and I would ask my constituents, you know, what they would like me to do, you know, or something. I don't think he's going to do it. He's not going to say yes. He's not going to say yes.
To trust you to go and be their voice for them, their families, and their kids.
Because I grew up in abject poverty. Okay, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll right now. Oh, you can't do polls anymore. Hang on a minute. Here we go. Oh, here we go. All right. Here's the poll. Do you believe, I should spell it right, IEVE, George grew up in abject poverty, quote unquote. All right. Do you believe that? There you go. There's the poll. All right. We'll leave that up for 10 minutes or so. All right. Or to the end of this interview.
In Washington?
Tulsi, I can say the same thing about the Democrats and the party. Look at Joe Biden.
No, okay. He's going to do what about? And he's right. Joe Biden is the master of resume embellishments. But let's see what he says.
Biden's been lying to the American people for 40 years. He's the president of the United States. Democrats resoundingly support him.
She ain't let him buy with this.
Do they have no shame?
She ain't let him buy with this.
I've made this very clear.
This is not about the Democratic Party, though. This is about your relationship, frankly, with the people who've entrusted you to go and fight for them. And I think one of the questions that really probably hits home to a lot of people is are you Jewish? We've got a letter that your campaign sent out earlier this year, which reads as follows. As a proud American Jew, I've been to Israel numerous times for educational, business, and leisurely trips. You said...
Now, why would he... Now, okay, I'm not so familiar with this district. Our president has demonstrated that molding the truth is appropriate when necessary.
There in that letter that you are, quote, a proud American Jew. How do you explain that?
How do you reconcile that? Now that you say you're
My
Catholic.
heritage is Jewish. I've always identified as Jewish. I was raised a practicing Catholic. I think I've gone through this. Even I've not being raised a practicing Jew, I've always joked with friends and circles, even in the campaign, I'd say, guys, I'm Jewish. Remember, I was raised Catholic. So, look, I understand everybody wants to nitpick at me. I'm going to reassure
It's
this
not a nitpick.
once and for all. I'm not a facade. I'm not a persona. I have an extensive career that I worked really hard to achieve, and I'm going to deliver from my experience because I remain committed in delivering results for the American people. I campaigned on inflation. I campaigned on crime. I campaigned on education. I campaigned on delivering resolve for the American people. That's what the people of the 3rd Congressional District.
But was it you? What was it you? And you told them you were somebody else. God. Oh, this guy is a perfect politician.
Heard me on and on as I campaigned. Now it's going to be incumbent upon me to deliver on those results, and I look forward to servicing and serving my district. I look forward to serving my people in my district to make sure that they see that this is what
looking for. The results that people are looking for are called into question when you tell blatant lies, not embellishments. And this is, I think, one of the biggest concerns, Congressman-elect, is that you don't really seem to be taking this seriously. You've apologized. You said you've made mistakes, but you've outright lied. A lie is not an embellishment on a resume. You said you worked at Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, but they've said, we've got no record of this guy working for us. You've said you've gone to and graduated from these universities, but they've said, well, we've got no record of that. These are blatant lies, and it calls into question how your constituents and the American people can believe anything that you may say when you are standing on the floor of the House
He's a
of
bloody mess.
Stop!
Somebody throwing the
That's
towel.
The real issue here.
Throwing the towel. She's killing him.
And I agree with what you're saying, and as I stated, and I continue, we can debate my resume and how I worked with firms such as Goldman.
Is it debatable or is it just false?
He's already dead. Stop stomping on him. He's already dead.
No, is it debatable or is it just
debatable.
False?
No, it's not
Good
false at
for
all.
her.
It's debatable. I can sit down and explain to you what you can do in private equity, in capital intro, via servicing limited partners and general partners. And
But
we
you
can
did
have
not work for Goldman Sachs or Citigroup.
But that's not what I campaigned on. I campaigned on delivering results for the American people by lowering inflation. I can sit down, and if you want to have that discussion, I'd be glad to, Tulsi, to explain that to you and make sure that we settle the score.
This is not about settling scores, and I think you just kind of highlighted, I think, my concern, the concern that people at home have. You're saying that this discussion will go way above the heads of the American people, basically insulting their intelligence. So not only are you now backtracking on these lies that you've told, but you're saying that you can't explain it in a way that your constituents would actually be able to understand.
I can explain it in a way
and that these lies are debatable.
If you give me the time, I can easily
She just gave you the time.
I can easily explain it for you.
She just gave you the time. She's given you. She's been talking. You've been on.
But you're saying that
you've been on here for 10 minutes, dude.
You've told.
But
you're saying.
You've been on here for 10 minutes. That's what you're here for. You're here to explain it. She's asking you the questions right now, and you are not answering what she's asking you. Holy shit.
That you can't explain it in a way that your constituents would actually be able to understand.
I can explain it in a way
and that these lies are debatable.
If you give me the time, I can easily I can easily explain it for you. As in, when investors are looking for capital, and I'm sitting there doing due diligence on the appetite and what they're looking for, right? And we work alongside GPs and LPs to help them place this capital. This is what I was doing, and that's when I worked extensively with these firms and many other firms at my time as I was vice president of Linkbridge Investors. So this isn't a made-up narrative, but I feel like nobody really wants to sit down and talk about it. Everybody just wants to push me and call me a liar. Look, I embellished my resume.
Santos.
I did.
Congressman-elect Santos, we've given you a lot of time. I think the time that is owed is to the people of New York's 3rd. It's hard to imagine how they could possibly trust your explanations when you're not really even willing to admit the depth of your deception to them. Thank you so much for being here and joining us.
Oh my gosh,
thank you, Tulsi.
That was brutal. That was brutal. and good for her and good for anyone. Look, Tulsi, I don't know what Tulsi's, I don't know what her positions on life is anymore. A lot of her positions are aligned with the right. A lot of her positions are aligned with the left. I don't care. I'm glad. And what's nice about this is, who tweeted this out, by the way? Who tweeted this out? Well, I don't know if he was the first one to tweet it out, but at 7:51 p.m. last night, Tucker Carlson tweeted this out himself. And so Tucker Carlson obviously is happy with the interview that Tulsi Gabbard did while he was off that night, while she was, guest hosting for him.
Permanent Washington.
Hang on. Oops, sorry about that. I started again. Now, what's fascinating though is I'm looking on Twitter, okay, and I'm watching. This was one of the top. Well, this morning it was the number one trending topic, and I don't know if it still is, but the range of people pointing out this interview and saying that this is good. For example, I did not have agreeing with Tulsi Gabbard on my end of year bingo card. Damn you, George Santos, for putting me in this position. I feel dirty now. Well, fuck you. Tulsi's not a shameful person to be agree with here and there. I never agreed with her when she was a Bernie bro. And yet sometimes I agree with her. Sometimes I go a little side eye because I remember what she used to be. Okay. But there's lots of people. I mean, there's people like,
the results that people are looking for.
Let's do that. There we go. But everywhere from post-millennial putting this up here, from this Louis Pietzman. This is I don't know who that is. Hang on. There are some people on here I saw put this up. Jason Whitlock. This isn't going well for George Santos. Victoria Browning. This is one of these complete left-wing Democrat sycophants. Oh no, this marks the first time in history I'm agreeing with Tulsi. Also, how terrible does one have to be worse than Tulsi? Now that's interesting, because when Tulsi was a left-wing lib, save the whales, no anti-war, whatever, Bernie Sanders supporter, I'm sure Victoria Brownworth agreed with Tulsi a lot of times. But no, not lately, because she doesn't like this direction of the country under the current President Joseph Rahim Biden. But anyway, if you look down this list, there are people just on all parts of the spectrum going, well done, Tulsi Gabbard, and I absolutely agree. And I'm going to finish the poll out now that I'm done. Do you believe George grew up in abject poverty? With 21 votes, 10% yes, 90% no. So when he says he grew up in abject poverty, I doubt it. His description of abject poverty is probably different than most people who have actually live in abject poverty live. When I think abject poverty, I think people who are homeless. I think people who are either in the hillbillies in the Appalachians in Kentucky, or someone in the projects. That's abject poverty, not probably what George Santos grew up with. So anyway, real quick, I got a couple other notifications here. Let me check these out. Thank you to, there's just some more people who tweeted out the show. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who's done that. Again, share the stream, hit the like button and all that jazz. All right, let's move on. Other things that are trending today. Okay, now, this one is interesting because I think Andrew Tate, if you're familiar with Andrew Tate, former kickboxer or whatever, and apparently I heard Andrew Tate might be fighting one of the knucklehead brothers that do all the boxing. One of those guys, I don't know which is which, but the internet boxer guys. Anyway, but Andrew Tate, I have mixed reactions because he's his alpha male persona is fascinating, and he does say some things that I agree with, but I just think the bravado and all that is a little bit much. Some people love him, some people hate him, but Andrew Tate was trending this morning, along with Greta Thunberg. Now, I'm not sure what prompted Andrew Tate, who somehow is back. Oh, by the way, Andrew Tate's back on Twitter. They let him back on. Because he was removed from all social media all on the same day. That was one of those things, apparently he said something that didn't fit with the government's idea of what should be happening in Ukraine, and so all of a sudden every social media platform dropped him on the same day. It was really weird. But anyway, he's been allowed back on Twitter. But here's what he did that has him trending. So he decided, I don't know why, where this came from, but out of the blue, there's a tweet from Andrew Tate that says, "Hello, Greta Thunberg." Wait, why is he tweeting to Greta Thunberg? Because she's the, Greta Thunberg, Greta Thunberg, right? He says, "Hello, Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars." Oh, because she was the climate change chick, right? Okay, Jake Paul. Yes, I think he's going to be fighting one of the Paul brothers. Is it Jake Paul? I don't know. Anyway, so he says, "Hello, Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars. My Bugatti has a W16, I'm assuming that's 16-cylinder, 8-liter quad turbo. My two Ferraris 812 Competizones have 6.5-liter V12s. This is just the start. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions." Okay? Now, I don't know why he made this tweet. And normally, I'm not a fan of Greta Thunberg. However, I'm going to give her credit for what I would call grandiose shitposting, because her reply to Andrew Tate was, and this has both of them trending because there's a lot of Andrew Tate haters. By the way, I'm not a Andrew Tate hater. Her reply was, "Yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com." Oh, now look, I'm not a fan of Greta at all. And sometimes, though, even if I am not a fan, if I may have some diffused loyalties between the people that are doing this, I do got to give her credit. That is some seriously good shit posting on Greta Thunberg's part. So I'm going to give her credit for that. I don't know why. Anyway, so all the Andrew Tate haters are ripping on him, and all the Greta Thunberg whatevers are fans are rejoicing over this. But I just thought it was hilarious, and it was great shit posting, even though I don't really have any great love or disdain for Andrew Tate. There's somebody here. Let's see. Andrew Tate is a low IQ individual whose brilliant ideas are things an average person thought about at age 16. Seeing him as a genius or an idol is a sign of stupidity. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that. Some people need some confidence building, and he builds confidence in certain people. 19-year-old environmentalist Greta Thunberg just destroyed 36-year-old misogynistic creep Andrew Tate in a single sentence. Okay, that's the Krasenstein brothers. By the way, the Krasenstein brothers are back on Twitter too. You remember them? You remember the Trump trolls, the Krasenstein brothers? I'm just like, oh my God. So whatever. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Queer. Now I'm just going to go through some trending topics, and then we're going to get out of here because... well, just because. I'm going to close that YouTube one, though. Queer is trending. Queer is trending. And that's because James Lindsay, if you're familiar with James Lindsay, Conceptual James, is been tweeting all morning about queer theory. Queer theory is a cult doctrine. The cult could be called queer Gnosticism. Drag queens in front of children are an initiation into the cult, which is an interesting phrase. But he also had a thread earlier. Where is that thread? Here it is. So And then he goes on to explain, because they are preparatory introduction into alternate modes of kinship, queer ways of thinking and being and living queerly, they present queer politics like, this is some answering a question of Sasha Lee. Why are drag queens shown as the only thing the LGBT community has to offer? Like, if you want to teach your child acceptance of the gay community, why not show them better representation, just as a gay doctor or lawyer or business owner? Why damn drag queens? I thought that was a good question. So he's saying because they're a preparatory introduction to alternate modes of kinship, queer ways of thinking and being and living queerly. They represent queer politics like, quote, like strategic defiance and gender fucking, whatever that means. They're a generative opportunity to escape normal. And then he tweets down here to something he talked about before, the clown shows that are that. So anyway, but for whatever reason, this has caused the term queer to trend all over the internet, and I probably shouldn't scroll on that particular topic without pre-screening anything that's on here. But now this has also brought up Chaya, what's her name? Chaya Raichik. Because, well, and this leads into Chaya Raichik, because Chaya Raichik, who is the person who runs the YouTube, or excuse me, Twitter handle Libs of TikTok, was trending yesterday, and and things about her are trending today. So today, the term Tay-Tay is trending, and lots of people are angry because apparently Chaya Raichik had an interview on Tucker Carlson. And so she made some jokes about calling Taylor Lorenz Tay-Tay. And so here's where that leads. So here is Libs of TikTok breaking. Taylor Lorenz, aka Tay-Tay, comes out as homophobic and describes her account as a hate account while complimenting me on my journalism. See, Taylor Lorenz really hates Libs of TikTok, aka Chaya Raichik, right? Now, one of the things that so here I'm going to show you this person. This is the person who got kind of ripped to shreds on the congressional floor when she was testifying in front of Congress. Alejandra Caraballo, who just spent almost the entire day yesterday talking about Chaya Raichik, aka Libs of TikTok, right? Now, because what? What the hell? Wait, I missed something. He should have said 33 car. Okay. They probably thought the Dem running against him was a shoo-in, so didn't do their jobs. Okay, something in here. Okay, anyway. So she went on this binge, just Twitter thread about this interview with Tucker Carlson. Chaya Raichik went on Tucker Carlson and said the LGBT community has become this cult. It's extremely poisonous. Now, notice she left out whatever else she said. She later says they're just evil people and they out to groom kids they're recruiting. Now, let's see what she actually said on Tucker Carlson. Let's hear it go. Here it is.
What is going on here? Do you have any theories?
I think there's something so unique about the LGBTQ community has become this cult, and it's so captivating, and it pulls people in so strongly, unlike anything we've ever seen. And they...
Now, I'm going to disagree with her a little bit here. Not the entire LGBTQ community. But there is a very strange phenomenon going on right now where the T and the Q portion of the LGBT community are really pushing to indoctrinate kids into, I wouldn't say being part of that lifestyle, or even necessarily, when they say grooming, when I say grooming, I don't mean grooming them to abuse children. Although I think some of this bending of norms is a form of child abuse. Okay. But I think what they're doing is trying to make certain things the norm or so acceptable or so that they can grow and also be more accepted. Now, there are certain segment of society who says, no, we don't want that. We don't want you to let them, if kids will probably figure that out on their own, if they're gay or they're whatever, they'll figure that out when they become adults. We don't need to indoctrinate them into making this something that's normal for them, because vast majority, this will not be normal for them. So I know there's a little bit of a tug of war on what but the problem is why am I getting a phone call? Okay, I don't want that. I want the silence. Why am I getting phone calls in the morning? There we go. So there's this tug of war between people who are like, no, don't just have the child develop normally and not try to push all this really weird shit on them, right? And it's confusing kids and it's making parents nuts. So anyway, but anyway, let me let her finish here.
They brainwash people to join, and they convince them of all of these things.
Especially adolescent kids who
really,
don't know
really hard to
anything
get out of
about
it.
life.
It's really difficult, and there are studies on this. Like there's been a lot of reporting on this about people, parents who are like, my child is starting to say, that they're non-binary or transgender or whatever, and what do I do? How do I stop this?
Often in false ways. Because it's become it's instead of being weird, it's become a badge of honor, especially to get praise from certain adults, i.e. teachers or community leaders. You get praise, you get and even adults are praised when their children because you're such a great parent, they're so accepting. And things that really, in the end, most of these kids grow out of, because they realize that, oh, well, no, that's not necessarily, I had no idea what I was talking about. But anyway. And
it's really, really difficult. It's unlike anything we've ever seen.
Now, for Alejandra Caraballo, by the way, remember, this is the person who says they're a clinical instructor, Harvard Law Cyber Clinic, gender and tech alleged expert, according to Elon Musk. This is the person that spends a lot of time trying to get people banned from Twitter. This is one of Taylor Lorenz's favorite resources as an expert, right? This is one of her favorite experts to go. This is one of her go-to experts, and also Ben Collins. All the Mean Girl journalists use Alejandra Caraballo as their expert, not realizing that Alejandra Caraballo is just an activist, okay? An activist who, because she has this transgender person has the right opinions, gets a lot of street cred and somehow worked her way into teaching one class at Harvard, which she no longer teaches, doesn't really have an affiliation with Harvard, but can put that on her in her bio because she did something at Harvard once, okay? But also has written for Slate and Wired or whatever, okay? And saying this is one of the most bigoted interviews I've seen. Now, let's...
it's extremely poisonous.
But do you see a spiritual component to any of this?
Yes, it's become a religion, but I don't think she understood the question.
You don't have to answer that if you don't want.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I do. I don't think this makes sense at all.
No, it doesn't make any sense. And I think they're evil. And sometimes we try to break it down a lot, and we discuss like why this is happening, what's happening, and whatever. And I think sometimes the simplest answer is like they're just evil. They're bad people. They're just evil people, and they want to groom kids.
Yeah.
They're recruiting.
In some ways, I agree. In a way, they're recruiting. Now, Alejandra goes on, this is 1970s Anita Bryant level bigotry, and it's getting promoted by Tucker, Dan White Society, Carlson. These bigots feel so emboldened to spew their hatred openly and incite violence against the LGBTQ community. Now, this is the tactic, okay, claiming that if you don't agree with them, if you have questioned what they're doing, or you bring this to the attention of the people, that your whole purpose isn't to incite violence. And I think it's not to incite violence, but it's to incite policy, because you can see it in many of these PTA meetings that get, transmitted on the internet, where the parents are coming in there going, "What is this stupid book that's showing a blowjob in the middle school for?" It's not inciting violence. It's asking for policy. Okay? And because she just puts out videos of these people doing what they do on TikTok, right? And she doesn't, it's not to incite violence. It's to make people aware that this stuff is going on. And you're like, what are you doing? And guess who's on TikTok? Your 13-year-old, your 12-year-old, your 14-year-olds on some of this craziness. So anyway, but when you have your expert Alejandra Caraballo say that they're trying to incite violence against LGBTQ community, well, what about the people in the LGBTQ community who agree that this is unacceptable? How do you do that? And then she said, I did an in-depth thread on the connections between Chaya's tweets and bomb threats. No, it's not just her, but all anti-LGBTQ moral panic stories invoke this response. Now, really? Do you have more than one example? And what actually happened? Because they like to use that Boston school, right? A lot of people were talking about the Boston school, and someone said the Boston school got a bomb threat. And I think they've even arrested somebody, but you notice you don't hear about it. They arrested somebody in that Boston Children's Hospital, the bomb threat. They arrested something. But you notice something weird about that? Have you heard anything about it since the arrest? I haven't. What does that usually mean when you don't hear about anything after someone was caught or arrested for it? Could it have been an activist for the people who are trying to stop people exposing what they're doing, as in a hoax? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, but usually that's the case. Good morning. Oh, Reaction Puerto Rico, you lovely island of tropical breezes. That's from West Side Story, if anyone's wondering. Anyway, then she's saying, "Oh, this woman is a child." She laughs her way through the explanation of her public. Now, this is my favorite. Of her public bullying campaign of Taylor Lorenz. Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony. So here's what she's talking about.
Sent a reporter literally after you.
So
her name is what, and she did what? If you could fill in those blanks.
So her name is Taylor Lorenz, also known as Tay Tay.
Tay Tay?
Tay Tay, that's her name.
And who calls her that?
So I call her that, and I made it up. And my goal is that people start referring to her as that, and it's catching on. I saw it printed. I forget which news outlet printed it, like Tay Tay, and I was like, oh my God.
So now, I don't know.
This is my dream.
Because you understand something that most conservatives don't, which is when you control the language, you control the conversation.
Okay, now.
When you refer to her next,
listen to this. This is why I laugh at this person, Alejandro Caraballo. Okay. By the way, I have no desire for anyone to do anything negative to Alejandra Caraballo. I do not want to be accused of promoting stochastic terrorism. I don't. This person can just stay where they are, and I don't give a shit about him, her, or whatever it is. But this woman is a child. She laughs her way through the explanation of her public bullying campaign of Taylor Lorenz, which is the most ironic statement ever. Okay? Taylor Lorenz has been hounding Chaya Raichik, doxed this woman, to end up at her family's, at relatives' homes. There's video of her in front of people's homes harassing Chaya Raichik. Tried to get her, wrote article after article about her, has been written tweet after tweet about her, trying to get her kicked off of Twitter. It was successful for a short period of time. They let her back on. And also the idea that this person, Alejandra Caraballo, Esquire, talks about Tucker tipping his hand and talking about controlling the language to control the conversation. Are you kidding me? The pronoun police are complaining about people talking about controlling the language to control the conversation? Get the fuck out of here. You gotta be kidding me. But then also now they've also discovered that, Chaya Raichik was on the Capitol grounds on January 6th. Oh no! So now they have a bunch of autists trying to find out if she went inside the building. They want to know if she went inside the building. I don't know. So anyway, so Tay-Tay is trending because now there have been multiple people calling her Tay-Tay, and apparently it makes her upset to be called Tay-Tay. So Libs of TikTok is celebrating the fact that Tay-Tay is trending. Libs of TikTok and Tay-Tay were trending in the United States as of yesterday, and actually Tay-Tay was still trending this morning. So I feel so bad for Tay-Tay because now people might start calling her Tay-Tay, and it would be very upsetting, and I really don't give a shit because Taylor Lorenz might be one of the worst people in the world. So there you go. All right, I need to finish this show, and let's see, how many are here now? We got 33 people here. Hit the like button, share the stream, do all that stuff. Good morning, GDSOB, and did I miss anybody else? I know people coming in and out. So let me finish up with, now I can't really show this because, well, I'll show you one part of it. This is my favorite. The Waffle House is trending, okay? Now, just every day is one of those days at Waffle House, right? You're going to find a Waffle House somewhere in the United States where some violence kicked off, whatever. But I want to just show you this particular one person at Waffle House who just don't give a F. Okay, I'm one. Here it is. This guy right here, eating his grits. Okay, this guy has to be an experienced Waffle House customer. So here we go. This brother right here, all that's going on. He just wants to eat his grits. Nope, I'm eating my grits. He's very comfortable in the Waffle House as things pop off. All right, so congratulations. All right, I'm gonna shut it off because I don't want to get too much of the violence in there. But I'm gonna leave you this. I'm going to leave you this tab, the Waffle House tab, because, oh, wait, let's see this one. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Steve Inman did one. I'm going to do that separate video. Hold up. Do I get in trouble? I don't know if I can get in trouble for this or not. See, YouTube is such a pain in the ass, but there's one of these videos with commentary that I'll leave in the description. Steve Inman does these. Let me see. I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna do the video, but I'll do the sound. Here we go. Listen to this. Maybe you'll be able to listen to. You'll be able to understand. Oh, that was Tame for Waffles. Oh no, there's more of them. There's several of these fights. One where, they went WWE. So they even threw a chair. But here's a commentary on one of these Waffle House fights by Steve Inman. I'm not going to put the visual on because it is violence, but if you want to see it, you can find the link in the description. Here we go.
Well, it always starts out as casual conversation at the Waffle House, and then it turns into this. Battle of the Kaijus happening before our very eyes. Pissed off about whatever, and Mountain Spew gets thrown from the Waffle House itself. It appears the beast has been unleashed on both sides and now getting attacked from the border here. And booyah! A slip-a-doodle-doo to the dome. Darla in the back with the crack-a-lack-a-jaw action while yelling, I don't get paid enough for this shit.
I promise you, when you see it.
And now the crowd is putting down a beat-down buffet. It always goes down like this at the Waffle House. You can always rely on the free entertainment with the spatula to the dome. She goes, what? Thought you came to the Waffle House for some waffles. You know what? I take that back. Here's a doggy bag and get your ass out of here and let the door hit your ass on the way out. And now picking up the chair, it appears this kaiju has gone mad. Bunch of hangry-ass mother effers just losing their shit here at the Waffle House. Oh my God.
Okay, so anyway, that video with the commentary will be in the description. And yes, Tay-Tay's father is a billionaire. He's the founder of Internet Archive, I believe, and his product gets a lot of use. By the way, did you know that on Internet Archive, you will not find any trace of Taylor Lorenz? They scrub her. They scrub her archive things, unless it's a Washington Post article. It's amazing. So, all right, guys, I need to call it a day because it's that time. You know what? Thank you so much for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. If you haven't done so, before you click anything else, click the like button, click the plus sign over on Rumble. Also, be sure to be subscribed on both, just in case. I just had a video taken down. Now, they didn't give me a strike, but still. They could have. Remember the last time they gave me a strike on a 15-month-old video? They suspended me for a week. Then they removed that strike, so now I will have 0 strikes cumulative come January. But if you at least follow me on Rumble and ideally also on Locals, which I did not do the notification today, but you'll be able to find me. I will post on Locals if I get suspended again, so on and so forth. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. I gotta go. Thanks for joining me. If you can hit the like button, share the stream, sponsor 24 hours a day at pdognight.live. There is no superstar sponsor of the day. That's okay. It's a free show. That's the way it is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. My name is P Dog Night, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P Dog Night, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Night, and I'm out of here.